Welcome back to another Clifton Cameras video, and today you join me in the heart of London, and I'm here to head towards the Fujifilm House of Photography for the unveiling of the X-Half, which has been inspired by the 35mm half-frame cameras that allowed you to take two images on a single frame. Now, the time that I have with the camera is going to be quite limited, so this isn't going to be a review as such, more of a first look, but I figured as I've got an hour to spare before the presentation, I might as well go through some of the key features with you now. So as I said, the camera has been inspired by half-frame cameras that essentially allow you to take two images on a single frame, therefore effectively doubling the amount of images that you can capture on a single roll of film. Now, a lot of you might be wondering, well, how does that translate to digital? Don't worry, we'll get into that in a bit later in the video. The camera weighs 240 grams, so it's going to be very lightweight to use. This includes the battery and the memory card, and it allows you to capture vertical format images and video while using the camera horizontally. So this is very much going to appeal to content creators looking to share their stuff on Instagram, TikTok, and of course you get the original 2-in-1 format from the original half-frame cameras. We have a 1-inch sensor along with a 32mm prime lens, which is a fixed lens, and I believe it's an f2.8, I'm not sure, we'll check that out when we get there. We have a vertical LCD as well as an OVF for the vertical format, and we have 13 film simulations which can be changed easily via the sub-LCD on the side of the camera. I'm looking forward to trying that one out actually. Touch operation seems to be a big part of this camera as well. I'm guessing this is to appeal to smartphone users. And as I mentioned early on, how does this format translate to the digital side of things? Well, there are a few things that Fujifilm have thought about here. There is a film camera mode, which essentially only allows you to view images through the OVF, and it turns off any preview to give you a more of a retro experience. And the camera is also going to be compatible with a lot of the Instax printers, so that you can print out when you're on the move, again adding to the retro experience. Well, not that you could do that on the move with the old ones, but you know what I'm saying. And lastly, Fujifilm are launching a dedicated X-Half app for easy transfer and sharing. So the time of the presentation is drawing closer, so I'm going to get there now and get hands-on with the camera. Okay, so I've got the camera with me now, and I'm very impressed with just how compact and lightweight this thing is. I'm really looking forward to trying it out. We just had the presentation, and it sounds like a very interesting camera. We're going to get over to Covent Garden now to try it out. I'll tell you more about it if I can speak. A little while ago, there were images of the camera that leaked, and a lot of people were speculating what the thumb winder was going to be used for. This is essentially so that you can access the 2-in-1 film mode. So basically you take one photo, wind it along as if you would with a film camera, and then take another shot, and it will put them together so you can form a diptych, which is quite a cool way of doing things, I think. Let's have a go with it now, I'll show you. So you take a photo, use the thumb winder, which then sets the camera up for a side-by-side shot, take the second shot, and then after that the X-Half stitches them together to create the diptych. Now, don't judge me too harshly on these. I've never declared that I was an artist, and I've only got an hour with the camera, so I'm just demonstrating, people. I mentioned earlier as well that you can select the film simulation via this sub-LCD here, which is really quite cool. Just allows you to access everything so quickly. Let's try sepia for some old school vibes. So we've got, next one is Velvia. I do love the film simulations. They're so easy to use. Classic chrome. It's really cool if you look on the back of the camera as well. It just kind of looks, it looks like an old school camera. I'm not sure how much you can see of that there, but you know, just the fact that it's got that roll of, you know, it almost looks like the roll of film in the side there. It's pretty cool. The touch operation makes everything so easy to use as well. So you can swipe down, and that gets you into pairing mode for use with the app. Oh, I've been told as well that the app doesn't actually release until the 29th of May, I believe. So it won't be for the actual release of the camera, unfortunately, but it will be soon after. That also lets you go into film camera mode. By swiping to the right, you've got the exposure mode, image size, self-timer, etc. Swiping up gives you a bunch of menu options for self-timers, white balance, etc. And then swiping to the right gives you access to the film simulation modes and the filters. And then, just like the filters, you can swipe in the LCD to get those. So we've got halation, we've got toy camera, what else have we got? Dynamic tone, partial color, So you can choose that retro, blur, color shift. There's loads. We've got tons of stuff to work with here, people. So this is using halation. Mirror. So we've got mirror image here. That's interesting. And we've also got a fisheye filter. I was talking about the film camera mode. Now you can access this easily on the back, and it gives you the option of 36, 54 or 72 shots. So I guess it's equivalent to rolls of film. So once you've set it to this, you will no longer have access to the back of the camera. You won't be able to look at the display. You will not be able to preview anything. You'll have to use the OVF. And not only that, once you've completed the roll of film, you won't be able to view any of it until you transfer it over to your phone via the app. So it gives you kind of like a contact sheet, just like you would with a negative. I won't be using the app because, as I said, the app isn't actually available yet. But I think that's a cool little touch. I think a lot of us get carried away with how many images we can. We've got the SD card, we've just got infinite memory. We can just take as many shots as you want. With this, you won't be able to finish it until you've actually completed the roll of film, and you won't be able to see any of it until you've got it on the app. So it's just very old school, just gets you in the moment and just gets you shooting without constantly viewing and seeing what you're doing. So I think that's quite a cool little touch. It's also worth pointing out with the 2-in-1 images that they also get saved separately. So not only do you have the image that is stitched together, but you also have both of those images separately as well. So you can just go ahead and shoot whatever you want, and if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, then you've got the individual images anyway. So pretty cool. So as you'll be able to see, you have access to the individual images that you've taken, but you then also get the 2 images stitched together in camera to create the 2-in-1 image. Nice. Now you can capture video with the camera as well, but it only goes as high as 1080p, but that's fine because, you know, most of this stuff's going to be sharing on socials anyway. So for making shorts and stuff, that's not a bad thing. And switching between stills and video mode is as simple as switching a button. This camera is incredibly easy to use, I will say that. Accessing all of the features is just so easy. Something I forgot to mention as well, it's available in 3 different colors. You've got silver, black and charcoal, which I chose. We were given an option of what we wanted to choose. I went for the charcoal straight away. A few other people did as well. Well, in fact, most people wanted to go for that, but only a couple of us got it. Unfortunately, that's all the time I have with the X-Half for today. So I'm going to head back to the House of Photography now, drop this off, and then I'll give you my thoughts. But I'm hoping that I'll get a hold of this once it's been released and I'll actually be able to do a bit more of an in-depth review for you guys. So there we have it. My time with the Fujifilm X-Half has come to a close. I'm avoiding getting run over as I say this. Adds to the video, right? It's a shame I didn't have a bit more time in it because it was a lot of fun. It was really cool being able to put the diptychs together. It kind of makes you think about the compositions you're doing a bit more, you know, getting more of a theme with what you're doing. There was only so much I could do with an hour, which is a real shame. The compact nature of the camera was awesome. You barely even knew that you had it on you. I really enjoyed the touch operation. It was incredibly easy to use. It was so easy to dial in whichever sort of look I was going for. The film simulations, I mean, we all know the Fujifilm film simulations are always good. The filters were a nice little touch, gave you something different. Had easy access to the video, again, along with the simulations and all the rest of it. Doing this sort of thing while walking through London is not easy, folks. The app wasn't available for me to use, so I didn't bother using the camera mode, but I can really see the use in doing it, because it just sort of puts you in that frame of mind of just taking pictures, not previewing everything, not looking at what you've got, just looking around you and taking images like you used to do when you were using film cameras. I can see the point of it. One of the other retailers was there. They actually tried out the camera mode, and when we were dropping the cameras back off, one of the Fujifilm representatives actually downloaded the contact sheet for them onto the app. It was pretty cool to see all the negatives there and how you can select everything. So I'm really looking forward to see what happens when the app comes out. Shooting in vertical while horizontal was actually, I thought I'd have to get used to it more. You know, when there's times where you do want to shoot vertically, I thought I might try that with a camera, but I didn't. You just get used to it so so quickly. It was a lot of fun, but like I said, I only had it for an hour. So as always, if you do want more information, make sure that you click the link in the description of the video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, so it really helps to boost the channel. And I will see you next time. I've got to get my train now. Day never ends. Well, it does, but you know.